Right then folk, welcome back to another video beer review. Today we've got a beer coming out of Track. Let's say Two Flints. It's Track. It is a collaboration between themselves and Two Flints. And it is always returning a DDH IPA coming in at 7% ABV. There we are. Picked this one up from the Tap down in town. Tap in Marlborough. I said about this on my review yesterday. Basically, all my bottle shops locally have just closed, and I think it's kind of maybe flicked something in, a switch inside me. You know, I kind of knew it for a long time anyway. You don't support your place, your local place, they fucking go bust, and they don't cease to exist. You keep supporting places, obviously, you know, Trembling Madness. Keep supporting places like Trembling Madness, absolutely fantastic. Can always beat other people on prices until a point where they can't, maybe. But ultimately, you know, there's not a single bottle shop anywhere near me. I think there's maybe 3 wine places that stock beers as well, and you know, that's it. And then not a out and out beer bottle shop. So I think realistically, I'm going to have to use the Tap. The Tap, of course, does have bar prices for cans, but I don't mind paying that if it's going to support my local bottle shop, my local, you know, tap room, my local independent bar. So yeah, as a result, spend a little bit more money, get a little bit less product, and you know, support an industry. Anyway, always returning a DDH IPA coming in at 7%, like I say. Hops inside of it are Citra Cryo and Dynaboost. Freestyle Nectaron. The fuck? So Citra Cryo and Dynaboost Citra. Freestyle Nectaron, Raquel and Raquel Sub-Zero Hopkeef. Now James was saying a little bit about Hopkeef to me last night, and I know about it. I'll be honest, I know about Hopkeef. I was fucking tired last night, to be honest with that. And I was just like chatting hops and shit like that. We were like going into. I didn't go in detail about, you know, Hopkeef and then how that sort of shit's work, but you know, a little bit about the open account with a 10p. Easily done. I've said this many a time. You work in a brewery, you're very likely to smash these between barrels, and it's happened on mainly index fingers, you know, the fingers you use for opening things. As a result, it becomes, over time, and probably some elements of arthritis in the family, it fucking becomes quite tricky to use your index fingers. But no, anyways, just touching back on the Hopkeef, you know, we're talking about, my god, the colour on that looks almost green at times. The different, basically how growing weed and cultivating weed in the States has really changed hop cultivation. My god, this smells awesome. Wow, Jesus Christ. That's probably one of the best smelling beers I've had all year. That's, yeah, without a shadow of doubt, one of the best aromas. I love Citra. Classic hop. Big fan of Raquel. Raquel. And I love the old Nectaron. Jesus, that smells fucking amazing. That smells awesome. Citrusy. Classic Citra, but Citron, like, it's like opening a fresh bag of T45 or T70. You know, that's basically what this is anyway, but geez, it's so jammy. Floral, just the nose is insane, really is. There's you know, tons of honeydew melon, fruity melon, bit of a candied orange peel, sorry. That is fucking crazy. That smells awesome. The colour, the camera does not do it justice. It is bright orange. You know, the look of orange juice, the absolute look of orange juice. Bit of a mango in there. That smells fucking fantastic. We'll dive in. Cheers. That's probably one of the best IPAs I've had this year. Easily. My God. I'm going to go and get a few more cans of this if there's more available. That's banging. And I think that's... The water profile is bob on. Nice and soft. And I think Two Flints have probably had a good hand in that because they nail their water profile. I really need to buy more Two Flints. That is insanely good. Really is. Perfectly balanced. Water profile, bob on. Nice and soft. Not too chalky, not too drying, but you know, nice and soft and a nice balance. Lovely sweetness, residual sweetness coming from the kind of the malt bill and the fermentation profile. They've probably dropped out, I don't know, 10, 13, 10, 12, something like that, maybe higher. And then just so soft. The thing is that's the level I have to go to on my beers to kind of get some sweetness in there, but you'll still end up getting a dryness from the calcium in the water, and it's because my water is like fucking shit. Really hard water. Whereas if you're brewing up north, your water tends to be, in the places that I like drinking beers from, tends to be softer. That is magnificent, really is. I'm going to really enjoy the rest of this can. Probably most of it in front of you. It's fantastic. It's really tropical. Citrusy, like honeydew melon, like I was saying before, and then a kind of like sweet melon note. Well, the one I had, last night, that was from Track. That was a bit like green melon. It wasn't the freshest. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. That's insane. And I think it's the perfect ABV as well. I like a 7 a bit IPA. I'm a big fan of beers at that sort of ABV because you only have one of them. If it's a Friday night, you might have 10 of them and then fall down a flight of stairs. But, worth it. I'll always be returning for this. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, see you next one. Cheers.